Elena had always thought of herself as a city girl through and through. Black hair, always perfectly brushed, framed her determined face, and her hourglass figure carried itself with a kind of stubborn pride. She was ambitious, dramatic, and endlessly busy, someone who never slowed down long enough to notice the stars above her head. But fate had other plans. Elena drove alone along the quiet country road, the windows slightly open as the evening breeze brushed against her face. She wanted space to clear her mind, to let the rhythm of the tires on gravel soothe her thoughts. The fading sunlight painted the horizon in gold and crimson, and for a brief moment she felt free. Just her, the open road, and the silence of the countryside. But as the miles stretched on, the car began to shudder faintly. A warning she didn't notice until smoke started curling from beneath the hood. Her car broke down on a lonely country road, smoke curling from the hood like a warning. Elena slammed her car door shut, frustration bubbling as smoke curled from the hood. She muttered under her breath, brushing her long black hair back from her face. The silence of the countryside pressed in until the rhythmic sound of hooves broke it. A tall cowboy approached on horseback, his green eyes catching the sunlight. He slowed his horse, dismounted, and walked toward her with calm confidence.
Need a hand?
He asked, voice deep and steady. Elena hesitated, crossing her arms.
Well, unless you're secretly a mechanic, I don't think you can fix this mess.
Lucas chuckled.
Maybe not, but I can get you somewhere safe. Hop on.
He led his horse closer and offered his hand. Elena looked at the animal nervously.
I've never ridden one before.
Lucas smiled gently.
Then I'll help you. Trust me.
He placed his hands at her waist, lifting her with ease. Elena gasped as she settled onto the saddle, feeling the warmth of the horse beneath her. Lucas settled into the saddle in front of her, guiding her hands to wrap gently around his waist.
Hold on.
He said softly. As they rode, Elena felt the wind tug at her hair, the rhythm of the horse's gallop syncing with her heartbeat. For the first time in years, she wasn't in control, and strangely, it felt freeing. From Elena's point of view, the farmhouse looked like something out of a painting. Whitewashed walls glowed in the late afternoon sun, and a porch wrapped around the house like welcoming arms. Beyond it stretched endless fields, dotted with cows and fruit trees heavy with apples. She whispered, almost to herself.
It's beautiful.
Lucas glanced at her.
It's home. My father and I built most of it ourselves.
Inside, the wooden floors creaked softly. The living room smelled of pine and smoke from the fireplace. Family photographs lined the walls. Lucas as a boy with his father. Neighbors gathered for harvest festivals. Horses in the pasture. Elena felt a pang in her chest. She had lived in apartments all her life, surrounded by glass and steel. This place radiated warmth, history, and belonging. The days that followed were filled with small, tender moments. Elena insisted on helping, though she was clumsy at first. One morning, while picking apples, she dropped one and laughed. Lucas bent down to pick it up, their hands brushing. She froze, her heart skipping. He smiled knowingly, but said nothing. Determined to prove herself, Elena climbed a tree to reach the highest fruit. A branch snapped, and she cried out. Lucas rushed forward, catching her in his arms. She landed against his chest, breathless. Their eyes locked, and for a moment, neither moved.
You okay?
He whispered.
I think so.
She said, though her racing heart told another story. They milked cows together, chased chickens that escaped the coop, and shared meals at the long wooden table. Lucas teased her gently when she spilled milk, and she teased him back about his serious expression. Each day, Elena felt her stubborn walls crumble. She began to look forward to his quiet presence, the way his green eyes softened when he smiled, the steadiness of his voice. The attic window framed a sky scattered with stars, each one shimmering like a secret waiting to be told. Elena sat close to Lucas, her shoulder brushing his, her heart pounding with a rhythm she couldn't control. Lucas broke the silence first.
You know, I've lived here my whole life, but I've never seen the stars look this bright.
Elena smiled faintly.
Maybe they're brighter because we're looking at them together.
He turned toward her, his green eyes reflecting the starlight. Slowly, carefully, he leaned in. Their lips met in a kiss that began soft, hesitant, but grew deeper as their emotions spilled over. Elena felt her stubborn walls dissolve, replaced by warmth and trust. When they finally pulled apart, she whispered.
Lucas, I don't want this moment to end.
He brushed a strand of hair from her face.
Then it won't.
Lucas led her gently to the bed in the attic, its quilt patterned with faded colors from years of use. Moonlight spilled across the wooden beams, painting the room in silver. He helped her out of her heavy jacket, his movements slow and respectful, as if every gesture was a promise of care. Elena felt her breath catch, not from fear, but from the tenderness in his touch. They lay down side by side, facing each other. Lucas wrapped an arm around her, pulling her close until her head rested on his chest. She listened to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, each thump grounding her in the safety of his embrace.
Tell me something about you.
Lucas murmured. Elena smiled against him.
I write stories, but none of them ever felt real until now.
He kissed her forehead softly.
Then maybe this is the story you were meant to write.
She closed her eyes, feeling the warmth of his body against hers, the quiet intimacy of the night wrapping around them like a blanket. Their closeness wasn't about passion, it was about trust, about two souls finding each other in the silence. As sleep began to claim her, Elena thought.
For the first time, I feel at home. Not in a place, but in a person.